car. Wait, how come we're... Oh, there we go. Okay. Cock's up right there. Wait. Where's my keys?
I'll pause it.
No, don't pause it. All right, here we go.
And welcome back to Bible Questions. What number what? What number is this?
I don't know.
10,000.
10,000.
And we're back to 10,000 Bible Questions. How do you recognize a false Christian?
How do you recognize a false Christian? That is a really good question, and I'm going to answer that question as soon as I can pull out of this driveway.
Between 1 and 5 is busy.
1 and 7?
Yeah, between 1 and 5. No turn on red.
That's preposterous!
How do you recognize a false Christian?
How do you recognize a false Christian? That's a really good question.
Christian.
Yeah, how do you recognize a false question? False question is a question that doesn't exist.
There's no such place as Wyoming. Think about it. Have you ever met anyone from Wyoming?
No, now that you mention it, I don't think I've ever.
Well, there you are.
But it's not really there. The words didn't actually come out of your mouth, though they felt like they did. Okay, how do you recognize a false Christian? Okay, the Bible talks about knowing them, Christians, by their fruit, not apples and oranges and lemons and pineapples.
I want pineapple.
Pineapple sounds good.
It does.
Anyway, but the Bible talks about recognizing Christians by their fruit. Now, fruit is another way of saying what you produce. An apple tree produces apples. A lemon tree produces lemons. A kumquat tree produces kumquats. So we recognize Christians by their fruits. In other words, the works that they do, the good deeds, quote unquote, that they do, we recognize that as being Christian. Now, the question that arises is, well, don't non-Christians do good things? Absolutely, non-Christians do good things. Non-Christians can be nice to people. Non-Christians can, go help someone who's stuck on the side of the road, or, jump into a burning house and... Say people, non-Christians can definitely... Yeah, I know you would. Non-Christians can certainly do good things. You might think... That's right. You might think, well, then what's the difference? Is simply this: the good deeds that a Christian does is born of the salvation that they have received from Christ. In other words, when a person becomes a Christian, their good deeds are going to be things that have changed in their life. So if they were like a very impatient person, over time God's going to whittle away at that impatience and grow them in their patience, so that you'll see them and you're like, there's something different about you. You used to be like this really impatient, but now you've grown in that. A person who may be very unkind with their words and receives Christ, God's going to, over time, it's not right away, over time, chip away at that hard-heartedness, that unkindness, and from that will develop kindness. So you see the fruit within a Christian is a growth process. And it's not just like the good deeds that we do, but it's being stretched in certain ways. So like witnessing, where a lot of Christians are scared to witness. I'm included in that. But God has grown me in my witness. That's part of my fruit. That's part of being able to recognize me as a Christian. As you
Sounds like it's getting worse.
Yeah, it is getting worse. The car's getting worse, people. So if you come upon a person who's not a Christian and you see no growth, that's a good indication that this person is not a real Christian. And when you find a false Christian, you throw a chain around him and you dump him in Lake Decatur. No, you don't do that. That's just a joke.
No. I have another question.
Another question. Wait! Okay, now ask it.
How do you change an atheist to a Christian?
How do you change an atheist to a Christian? Well, being that I am not the Holy Spirit, I can't. Hey, happy belated Easter, everybody. I like to eat the eyes first.